What's going on, gamers? It's Phil H here from Beneath the Veil and welcome back to the channel. This week I wanted to do a quick little video about the heads up display. We've seen a lot of players that don't seem to get any value out of the heads up display, so we thought we'd break down a few things that you can do with it and how certain heroes can really utilize this, especially if you're playing support. I've found personally this is when it's been the most helpful, but there are other utility heroes, like especially the offlane, where you can get some good value out of these tips as well. So without further ado, let's jump into it. If we look at the heads up display just as it is, it will obviously show you all the heroes that are on your team, and then these diamonds here will show you their ultimate status. Whenever it's grayed out completely, that means that they don't have their ults leveled up yet, or it will be on cooldown. So if I just turn off free spells here for a moment, and just use Magnus's ult, you'll see that it'll be grayed out, so it's on cooldown now. So whenever it's green, it means that it's available. If it's blue, then it means that they don't have enough mana for it, but they've got it available. And otherwise, yeah, green means they're good to go. So that's just as it is as a default. The other things to consider is that if you hold Alt, then you will see TP scroll availability, as well as you will see health and mana, and I think they've also added shields in there. So you can see the status of all heroes without needing to necessarily have them on your screen. You can see here I've got 4 of my 5 heroes. I've actually got my Treant tucked across the map here. The reason for that is, when you're playing Treant, your living armor is a global cast range. So you can, very quickly, you can be doing whatever you're doing here whenever your living armor is up, so you can actually cast it to put it on the tower without needing to look. The other thing that you can do is that if you notice that a ally is being gone on, you can just hold Alt to see who needs it, and then you can just very easily go and cast your spell, put it on the icon, and then you'll see that Magnus here will have the living armor buff. So this goes with lots of other abilities. You know, whenever I'm playing Chen and I want to use my Hand of God, if I'm not necessarily looking at the fight because I'm not at it for whatever reason, I can just hold Alt and I can see status of health bars before I go to commit it, and then yeah, you can pop your Hand of God whenever you need it. Similarly with Ogre, so he's got his Bloodlust ability, which can be cast on allies. The reason you might want to use this trick instead of just manually casting it on the real hero is that sometimes, you know, especially with PL, but if you've got any heroes that have illusions up, you might be wary about not getting it exactly on them. If you want to confirm that it's going to go on them, then you can just cast it on the hero portrait, and then that will go through. There are lots of other abilities. This is especially clutch in team fights if you need to get off certain save items on certain heroes. So say you need to get a Glimmer Cape off on an ally, you can just simply cast it on the hero portrait, and then it will always cast on the hero. So yeah, you can do other things like that. You've got any single target that will benefit an ally. So Wind Waker on an ally, you can, you know, if you're being gone on yourself and you're not confident that you can get it on yourself, then just you do it on your portrait. Same thing with Glimmer, you can Glimmer yourself. Other ones to consider is that Pudge, when you get the shard, that will enable you to use Dismember as a save. So get into the middle of a fight and then make sure that you get it on the right hero. Can be really clutch, and then you can leave and spit them out. But yeah, those are the biggest ones, is that using Alt, see status, and then use all of your saves that way. That was all for this week. Stay tuned for next week's video. I'm going to go over why I think you should be using Quick Cast instead of regular cast. And until then, I'll see you in the next video.